Oh, I've got a Judgy McJudgy, a estranged adult child who repaired, I don't know what that looked like, relationship with their estranged parent who has since passed away. I'm just going to play the video so that you see what I mean, and then we're going to talk about it. She is literally shaming estranged adult children because, of course, she's better than we are because she went back in. And listen, maybe she went back in and that relationship somehow became a healthy one. It does happen. I have estranged parents who have been able to repair their relationships with their adult children. However, that to be said, it only happens when that estranged parent is able to take accountability and respect boundaries and become a safe person in the present. Because it's in the present that breaks down the relationships permanently or even temporarily. It's not about the past. We do need to heal from the past, and we do need to make repair from the past and that sort of thing. I was an estranged parent, so I'm not judging anybody out there who's been on either side of the track. I'm an estranged adult child of over 30 years. My mother is never going to be a safe person. So I protect my peace. And you're going to see why I said it this way in just a moment. As a little side note, I had said in the beginning of looking at different people's content and taking it in this way that I wasn't going to, for the most part, show their faces. There's times I think that we need to. I think there's times where we need to see the body language, the facial expressions, well, that is body language, that sort of thing to get the full flavor. Part of the reason that I was keeping people in shadow also is because I don't want anybody going after them. This isn't about creating more division. It's actually about creating healing and understanding so that other estranged people out there, adult children or parents, can start to expand the way that they think and feel about things so that if there is a possibility for repair, they're able to do so. And when I see, especially with the estranged parents, them doubling down, don't apologize, don't do this, don't do that, I see them picking on vulnerable people because misery loves company, and they don't want those parents to repair their relationships with their adult children because they want company. With this is a unique one. I haven't seen an estranged adult child like this, and I'm really hoping she doesn't have children herself. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's go.
Here's the problem with protecting your peace. You're really protecting your pain. When you go no contact with someone and you say you're protecting your peace and you say it is so peaceful without that person in your life, you know what you're saying is it's peaceful because you don't have to look within at yourself. That is the harsh reality of protecting your peace. It's peaceful because you don't have to look at yourself. Loving yourself means that you no longer place your needs on anyone else because you fulfill it for yourself. Self-love is not love of self. Self-love is being the person you need others to be. And when others can't fulfill your needs and you walk away to protect your peace, you are saying that you don't need to do the work on yourself. Because real love, true love, goes towards. It doesn't move away. If it moves away, it means that you needed something from that person that you didn't get. That's the harsh truth. And because you didn't get what you wanted, you moved in the other direction. But if you loved yourself, you wouldn't need anything from that person. You would be able to love them unconditionally. Because really, we don't have to say unconditional love, because love is actually unconditional. If it's conditional, it's not love at all. So here are the facts. I walked away from my mother, and I realized it's because I didn't do the work inside myself to love myself. I was still requiring her to be somebody she couldn't be. When I let go of that, I was able to return. Now I get it. And I was able to fully come into these realizations before she died. Thank God. But it's going to be hard for you guys, the ones that are just still working in bitterness. And you say it's peaceful. Of course it's peaceful because you don't have to look at yourself.
The words word salad come to mind on that one. And I have to tell you that I listened to the beginning of that video before I started to create this one. And I hadn't listened to the whole thing in a while. And I'm just like, I'm practically speechless. And I do that on purpose a little bit because I really like to respond to these things or talk about these things without rehearsal and scripting and all of that. I like to keep it real and present. What do you guys think of that? I'm really curious to know, like in the comment section, tell me what you're feeling and what you're thinking. Unconditional love? I feel like what she's saying is, in order to be a truly loving person and prove that you're truly like solid in yourself, you have to be willing to sacrifice that same self and expect nothing out of another person, particularly your parent. That's part of what I'm hearing her say through that word salad. And this thing about to protect your peace, but really you're protecting your pain. The only time I'm in pain is when I think about the things that my mother took from me. That like I love my life like so much, and I love what I do for a living. I feel like this is the most amazing life that I've created for myself, and I'm very, very grateful. That to be said, is this the life I would have chosen? I'll never know. Because my mother, every time she traumatized me or sabotaged me, she altered my path. So my path wasn't one of dreams and wishes and hopes and that sort of thing. My path is one that kind of fell into my lap and I decided what I was going to do with it. But my life, like, I don't remember beyond having the dream of going to Juilliard as a young girl when then my mother took me out of a school that had a music program and made sure I didn't have access to playing music anymore because I was going to say stupidly, naively shared that dream. I mean, I'm like 11, 12 years old. And then she put me in a school with no music program, sabotaged me. Other than that dream, and I used to dream about also being an architect or an artist. That was in there somewhere, and that was very short-lived as well because I didn't have space for dreams anymore. So other than thinking about my mother and having pain or thinking about my losses from time to time because something triggers me or I just have a plain old memory kind of thing, I am definitely not living in pain. And I can promise everybody out there that if I was in a relationship with my mother, I would be in pain every day. And I would never be able to grow love for myself because I would be stuck in that place where my mother trained me to be. In that knowledge that the way she treated me was my fault because I was defective, or as she liked to say, damaged goods. It was in separating from her that I was able to go to therapy and find out the things that she normalized were actually abuse. And that's why they felt so bad. And that's why I felt so bad. And that's why I was in so much pain. I don't protect my peace. I just have it. I don't have to protect it. I don't participate in relationships with people who don't love me the way that I love myself. And it's unfortunate that this person is out there like shaming and blaming adult survivors of narcissistic, toxic parents, whatever we want to call them, and their life choices, and trying to make them feel like they're doing something wrong and that I can't. I'm mind blown. I almost feel like I should have listened to this one more time before talking about it. At the same time, I'd rather just create dialogue with all of you out there. And I don't remember if I said this, but her comment section is filled with, guess who? Estranged parents going, that's right, they're living in bitterness. That's right, they're holding grudges. That's why they won't talk to us. I mean, her comment sections are wild, and I'm going to put a few at the end of this video. And more than anything else, what I want to let people out there know when they see somebody out there talking like this, one size doesn't fit all. We're not all in the same situation. Whatever she found with her mother before her mother passed, I am genuinely deeply happy for her. Whatever it was, though, I will also say, left her with a flavor that we're supposed to do the same, or we're not as good as her. That's how this feels to me. And it feels guilting, like we should be in relationships and not have expectations of basic human dignity, safety, love, and care. We're allowed to need things from the people who we're in relationships with. And the fact that she hasn't recognized that says something about her lack of healing journey, actually. I bet she asked her mother for nothing and gave her everything she had. And now she's like living in this place of justifying her abandoning herself. That's what it feels like. I'm not speaking that as fact. I'm just saying that that's what it feels like for me. And I'm actually sad for her as much as I'm frustrated for my fear around what estranged people, whether they're the parents or the adult child, the messaging that they get from this. Because people that are in these types of family estrangements, that genuinely want repair and want healing are incredibly vulnerable. And if there's an estranged parent out there attaching themselves, going, yeah, well, maybe my adult child will see the same and I don't have to do any work or change on myself. They're just going to take me as I am because of unconditional love. Well, if that adult child comes back, it's dead in the water. And the same thing on the flip side for estranged adult children, feeling that guilt and that there's something wrong with them because they can't be in a relationship with their parent, now maybe going back in, trying to accept the unacceptable and less than they deserve. It's just not okay. And that's why I make these videos about these types of creators. I think it's important that we stop supporting division, but rather support constructive knowledge and repair and building a bridge for the estranged adult children and the estranged parents that actually have relationships that, or don't right now, but have the possibility of repairing their relationships. And if not, have the possibility, which we all do, in finding their own peace instead of living in pain.